My name is Tracey Cook, and welcome to the podcast series Victim to Victory. This series gives a voice to those that have overcome obstacles in all forms, that dare greatly to share their real stories. Amazing humans that have seen hope and risen above those adversities to become victorious, that now support and inspire others to do the same. And today we're giving a voice to Mona. She is an author, she is a life coach, and she has a lot of tools and understanding to help you create the life you've imagined and get a renewed sense of self. She is an amazing entrepreneur. She is helping so many people change and save their lives. And I'm very honored to be interviewing her today because we've got some wonderful things to talk about, very exciting things to talk about. And it's also Mona's birthday. So happy birthday today.
Thank you.
Welcome to Victim to Victory, Mona.
Thank you, Tracey. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here with you, especially on my birthday. What a great gift.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Now, you're a woman that wears many hats, and I know how important it is for you to really share those tools to help people flourish in their life and take control and plan their future and, you know, to prioritize those times and relationships. But has it always been easy for you? Where does your story start?
Well, it starts in childhood. There was lots of abuse and neglect in my childhood, and it taught me how to survive. And not all of those survival skills that I learned as a child serve me as an adult. And that's an important thing for people to realize, is that what helped us to survive in childhood or even adolescence may actually be killing us and our relationships and our opportunities for success as we go into adulthood. And I didn't realize this for many years into my adulthood, but once I found my journey to recovery, I learned a lot and didn't realize, but I've always been working to help other people survive and overcome their abuse situations and help them to better their lives. And then as part of my recovery journey, I decided I was going to take charge of my life and make a difference in my life. And I've become such, I think, an asset, a gift. Sharing my talents and skills and experiences to help others so that they can find their path to recovery from trauma and, you know, even addictions and avoid suicide. Because as you'll read in my chapter, not only do I mention different types of abuse, but also that I was suicidal at a very early age. And I'm not going to spoil that one for you because I think it's worth reading. But my chapter is called Wounded, Not Broken: The Lies in Our Beliefs. And the reason for that is because as an adult, I believed I was broken, damaged. You know, I wasn't any good. And I had lots of evidence to prove it. And so part of my recovery journey, I connected with a woman who was a nurse, a psychiatric nurse, while I was in the hospital. And she saw through my lies. And she was like a firm boot to the behind. And she didn't buy into my stories. And she helped me to discover the lies I was believing that were literally killing me. Because if you believe that you're broken and that you can't be fixed, well, then what's the point in living, right? So I learned that I was wounded. And as human beings, wounds can heal and do, but sometimes we have to remove the things that block that healing. And that's my goal, is to help to remove those blocks. And also I have a mission to reduce the number of deaths by suicide, because you don't have to end your life to end the pain. but you can resolve it. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's why it's called Resolve It Coaching, is because I'm here to help you to resolve those pains without reliving the past.
Now, it's so funny, and thank you very much for sharing. I know how hard it is to share those kind of details, and doesn't matter how many times you say it, it still evokes emotion. But I must thank you for bringing awareness around what you needed to survive. Once you actually start healing, there's a different you that needs to thrive. And this is something that I think a lot more people, they stay in survival mode, overcoming abuse and trauma and events that have happened to or for them, or they've experienced that kind of thing. And what I hear a lot of is people stay stuck. And I love that you touched on that, in survival mode. And they don't switch over to thrive mode because of that success blocker, right? Because they think they're not worthy, that self-limiting belief, that glass ceiling and things like that. So they already know they've got that fire in their belly. But I'm so glad that you're helping people remove those blocks so they can really step into thrive mode and get rid of that survival that no longer serves them, because they're already healed, or they're on that healing journey. So it's such an important place to be, Mona. So thank you very much for sharing that. Now, you've obviously experienced a lot. And being an author in the Life by Design book, which is produced by GWN Publishing, Lil Bakaski. And also we have Kim Ward, who has brought all of the authors together fabulously. And I love the title that backs up Life by Design. And it's how to create the life and business you've always wanted. And it's such an important journey that you've been on. And I know that your chapter is very impactful, and I really want everyone to grab it. I really do, because we will touch on those kind of things. But what does Life by Design, what does it mean to you?
Choices. It means that I get to choose the life for my future, that I'm responsible for living today and every day here forward. I'm no longer a victim. I stepped out of that victim mindset and stepped into a creator mindset. I am the creator of my destiny. And I say I'm the co-creator because I believe that we have a creator that, where our soul, our energy stems from. But, I was given a life. I was programmed to believe the way that I did. And I didn't realize that programming until I got help. And that help helped me to recognize just how I'd been programmed and that I was in survival mode. I didn't realize I was just surviving. I knew that I didn't want to continue living that way. It wasn't working. I was in my third divorce, and it was not working. Nothing was working. There were stumbling blocks every step of the way. And most of the time I felt like I was walking through lead, not through air, but through lead. And it was like there was somebody who had hold of my invisible suspenders. It always felt like I had suspenders, and somebody had hold of them and was holding me back. And I was like, where's this coming from? And once I recognized that it was coming from inside me, and that I could change what I believed about myself, about other people and relationships, and the world in general, and how I saw it, wow, what power. I mean, I'm feeling a surge of that power now, because I recall just how amazing it feels to be free of that victim mentality. And occasionally I slip into it because something gets triggered, but most of the time I stand in my creator power. You ought to meet her. She's a superwoman.
I love that. And wearing our stories like a superhero cape and not an anchor as well. We can just thrive so much in that space. And what are you hoping that people will really take away from your chapter in Life by Design?
Courage and hope. I want people to know that there is help. I had to have help to break free from those invisible shackles that were holding me back, and that that they're not wounded, and that there is help out there. If it's not me, get some help somewhere, somebody. The fact that you're doing this podcast, Victim to Victory. I couldn't think of a more excellent name for what I do. It's taking victims to victory, to be victorious in their lives. And that's what I want for them, is victory.
Fantastic. And recently I've added to Victim to Victory a visionary, victim to victim to visionary, to really encompass people like yourselves, Mona, that is really genuinely out making a difference, being the change in the world. And this book encompasses that. This book is collaborative authors. You're one of them. Life by Design. You couldn't pick a better title, and people need messages of hope more than ever. What is a key piece of advice, do you think, that you would share of how you overcome your obstacle?
Looking at the lies that I believe that were holding me back, and recognizing those and then working to change them to something positive. And that's what my resource, that I'm offering to your listeners. My resource is all about that 10-step process about how to change your limiting beliefs.
That's such a valuable resource as well, because it's okay saying one thing, but we want something tangible. We want something to action. We want something, step by step, a guide. We want to hear someone's story who's been there like you. They've overcome. They've had great awareness. They're now helping others. And that resource that we're going to be sharing, and we'll share out the links of that as well, is a valuable resource. They can also book a call with you as well, so that you can actually have a conversation. How great is it to have a voice or a face-to-face conversation with somebody? We've forgotten what that's like, right? Social media and things like that. Yeah, we can connect on Messenger, but there is nothing more relatable. There is nothing more really personal about jumping on a call with somebody and just having a chat. A good old chin wag, to sometimes a total stranger, and just creating those connections that can literally save and change our lives. And I know you're helping a lot of others in the coaching space as well. We will be sharing where to definitely connect with you. What is one of the biggest things that you can share with us about what you're doing to help communities and people at the moment?
So by getting on a strategy call with people, I help them to look at where they are, and, help them to create a blueprint for the action that they might want to take, so that they can become the creator of their destiny and choose the life they design, instead of continuing to live in a life that doesn't work for them and that is actually hurting them. And that's what most people don't realize, because it's in our subconscious. And, more than 80% of the decisions we make every day are in our subconscious thinking, not in our conscious mind. And that's why we don't realize that we can't overcome something that we're not aware of. And awareness is the first step in the process of change. So I want to help people to become aware of what's holding them back, those invisible shackles, and help them to dissolve them, and then help them to create that blueprint or that life that they design, that they choose, so that they too can feel the power, the amazing power of the life that they were born to live, but were unaware of until now.
That is so powerful. And so many people need direction. They need a helping hand up. They need somebody to be in their corner And you're those kind of people, Mona. And Life by Design book really encompasses being the change in the world. We will be
And I'd
sharing.
like to say, if I could,
sure,
that it's not necessary to relive the past in order to resolve the pain from the past. And I think that's critical because so many people drop out of therapy because all it does is re-trigger, and they relive it and they're re-traumatized by it. And I've done the therapy and I've done the coaching, and I choose the coach approach because you don't have to relive it. And I think that's a critical piece for people to understand. The coaching is very different than therapy, and that you don't have to spend your whole life in therapy, and you may not need medications. So coaching is a different approach, and it works for many people.
Definitely. And it's such an important message as well for somebody who's been that repetitive therapy attendee, to be able to go, wow, there might just be something else, because this isn't quite a fit for me. It's not quite working. And I might want to just go and see what this is all about and take a peek behind the curtains and genuinely connect and talk with somebody who just might hold the jigsaw piece, you know, to complete their puzzle, you know, and just to finally move on and move forward and really, as you said, step into themselves, step into their power and reclaim their birthright, reclaim their success, get rid of that old programming and really move forward abundantly, you know, removing those blocks with your coaching as well. Life by Design, an absolute powerhouse book. It is released on the 28th of April, the 28th of April. And I'm trying to get our time zones right here. And it will no doubt go to a #1 bestseller, because the purpose and the intention of all these amazing collaborative authors, including yourself, and the amazing publishing company and the producer as well, all collectively wanting everybody to go from victim to victory to visionary. Mona, thank you very much for being brave to share your story as well. We'll be sharing where to connect with you, your resource, and on that link will be where you can book a call with Mona as well. Life by Design will be available on Amazon. You are very much appreciated, and you can find the Victim to Victory podcast series on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and our Facebook group. Please subscribe and comment to help be the change that the world needs. And let me leave you with a message of step into your story, figure out who you are, and do it on purpose. Thanks, Mona. Happy birthday. And I'm looking forward to grabbing a copy of the Life by Design book and reading your chapter. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you, Tracey.